Welcome back to the Weekly Huddle YouTube channel. I am Owen McCullough, and welcome back to another episode of Break It Down. This week, we have Gabriel Davis, wide receiver out of UCF, who's been showing out at the Bills camp recently. Today, we're going to do something different. We're just going to go through his pros and cons, give you like a play or two to really show what I'm talking about, and just try to make these into a little more condensed episodes. So, I'm excited for these. Please like and subscribe. Follow all of our other social media outlets. This is probably, like I said, these are always my favorite videos to make because it's what I love doing. So, please support it. Please give it some good view ratings and likes and things like that, just so that way I can keep getting incentives to do more of these. So we're going to go right on to his pros first, and his first pro is going to be his size, which is going to be standing at 6'3". And with that 6'3" size, he brings a different element that most of the rest of the Bills receiving core doesn't have outside of fellow rookie Isaiah Hodgins and second-year man Duke Williams, which is size, which they've been really lacking. John Brown and Cole Beasley, who were the top two receivers last year, were all under 6 foot, so they definitely need a larger man playing receiver for them. And just for reference, they had him lining up at tight end at this one play against Pitt, like in line tight end, which means they viewed him as one of their bigger guys on the offense. So I mean, that just gives you a hint of how they size and what this kind of size he brings to the Bills offense now. And our second pro kind of has to do with the first pro as well. Is with his size comes the great jump ball abilities. He's been showing it off in Bills training camp recently, but here's just a play that shows how he can go back and fight for those balls, win those 50-50 catches, and that's something that's one of his biggest pros I've seen in this film, is that when he goes out for passes, a lot of his touchdowns are him going up and mossing a receiver and doing those things, which just comes with the size he has and the body control and the ability to track the ball, which have all noticed in his film, but this is just one of the plays that best exemplifies it with a touchdown over USF. And our last pro here is going to be his speed. Like I said about his jump ball ability and his size, it's going to be good for those 50-50 balls, but he's also really good with using his speed. He has good speed. I believe around like 4.5, 4.4, or like a low 4.5 at the combine. But like he doesn't have amazing speed, and you'll see that in this film, but he has good speed for a receiver, especially of his size. So he'll be good on those long fade plays that he could break it deep, and even if he doesn't get as much of a step on the corner as you like, he has that size to combine with the speed to get those 50-50 balls on the fades. So going through his pros, we've gone over his size, his jump ball ability, and his good speed, and now we'll be getting into his cons as a prospect. Real quick, when I didn't add on the list, before we get to the other ones, is just that his speed, like I said, isn't amazing and isn't the best. So I didn't want to put it on the cons because I have the speed on the pros as well. Just know that like a semi-con is not amazing speed. His first con is going to be one that exhibits part of his overarching, like just major con, but I'm going to break it down into two separate parts that basically talk about the same thing. It's his lack of like athletic ability kind of and like hip fluidity. So the first part of that is his rack ability. He's not someone who's going to be able to shake you out of your boots with some jump cuts and stuff like a Jerry Jeudy. He's just someone who can catch the ball. Like I said, he's got speed, but he'll be able to, like, the only way he's going to be able to break long passes, like runs after catch, is going to be by running a straight line and outrunning guys and breaking off a few arm tackles. He's not going to jump cut or cut anyone or, do any like special like moves like a runner. He's just basically going to be straightforward line, run straight, or like run just around guys without making any like poppy moves kind of thing, and just try to like power through them, and like kind of like in this play where he doesn't try to make a move at all. He just puts his head down and just try to get as many yards as he can. And the final major one of his cons I want to talk about also has to do with his hip tightness and lack of like athletic ability, is that he only runs a certain kind of he doesn't run that many routes. The most routes I've seen, besides like little screen passes, which I haven't really counted, were he'd run. The only really routes he runs are slants, 9 go routes, comebacks, and posts. He doesn't really run much of else, and he runs those fine, but he doesn't run a full route tree, and it struggle to help him get on the field if he can't run all those routes. I mean, he's been showing out in practice, so maybe he has one of those routes, but his hip tightness and stuff is just giving him lack of ability to run those like tight cut routes that you really need to like deep ins and things like that, or outs that really make people like Stephon Diggs, who are a great route runner, who that's what they can fake him out with that kind of thing. With that kind of agility, he just lacks that overall. So my final overall view for Gabriel Davis, the wide receiver at UCF. As an overall player, I like him. I like what he's been doing in camp. I'm actually, this year, for my rookie jersey I get every year for a Bills player, I'm actually going to be getting Gabriel Davis's. But yeah, I really like the size he brings. The size combined with the speed, it really intrigues me, especially with the jump out prowess and his ability to just, get those 50 balls. And I didn't think that was the kind of game he was going to have, so I watched his tape. What does alarm me is his ability after the catch, but I don't think that's as alarming for me as some might. The more important thing is that his hip stiffness that attributes to the run after catch ability being kind of lackluster is his route tree isn't that defined, and he needs to be able to find ways to add more routes to his repertoire with his physical limitations. So I'm excited we can see. I think eventually be able to replace John Brown as like our deep ball specialist kind of guy. Like I know Stephon Diggs is a good deep threat, but John Brown was brought in specifically as that deep ball guy, and I think Gabriel Davis, who has 4 inches on John Brown, might be able to eventually usurp him maybe like a year or two down the road, but he's definitely able to stick on the roster. I have high expectations for him. I think he's going to be able to get plays in a lot this year. I just think he overall will be a good player, and I think he will contribute at least a little bit his rookie year. But other than that, thank you for watching this episode of the Break It Down, the draft breakdown show I do on this time on wide receiver Gabriel Davis. If you have any, soon I'll be done with the Bills draft, so then I'll be going on to players from the upcoming draft. If anyone has any recommendations for players to do, leave them in the comments, post comment stuff on Instagram post for this video, and always like and go check out the rest of our stuff on YouTube channel, and follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and all other places. So I'll see you next time.